Little Drea, a curious young girl, stumbles upon a mysterious old book in her grandmother's attic. Inside, she finds a glowing, magical time machine. The time machine whirs to life, and before Drea knows it, she's standing in front of the majestic pyramids of ancient Egypt. Drea meets Princess Nefertiti, who tells her about the wonders of ancient Egypt and its mysterious tombs. Suddenly, Drea's time machine transports her to the Middle Ages, where knights in shining armor roam. Drea gets a ride on a majestic horse with Sir Cedric, a brave knight who tells her about his quests. With a twist of the dial, Drea finds herself in the Wild West, where cowboys and outlaws live. Drea has a fun showdown with Cowboy Jake, who challenges her to a quick draw contest. After all the adventures, Drea returns to her grandmother's attic, with the time machine hidden safely in the book.
The Adventures of Cowley and Sam. Once upon a time, on a peaceful farm nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, there lived a special cow named Cowley. Unlike any other cow, Cowley had soft white fur with shimmering blue spots that sparkled like the stars. She was known for being kind, wise, and full of magical surprises. Most of all, she had a special friend, a curious and adventurous little boy named Sam. Sam lived in the village nearby and visited the farm every day after school. He loved running through the tall, soft grass, racing to meet Cowley. As soon as he reached the meadow, he would shout, "Cowley! Cowley!" and the gentle cow would lift her head and moo happily, her blue spots glowing softly in the sunlight. One evening, as the golden sun began to set, painting the sky with streaks of pink, orange, and purple, Sam arrived at the farm as usual. But tonight, there was something different. Cowley was standing in the middle of the meadow, her blue spots twinkling brighter than ever before, as if she was waiting for something very important to happen. "Sam," she called with a joyful moo, "I've got something special to show you tonight." Sam's eyes widened with excitement. "Really, Cowley? What is it?" Cowley smiled, her eyes twinkling with mischief. "Close your eyes and hold on tight, Sam. We're going on a magical adventure." Sam's heart raced with excitement. He had never gone on an adventure like this before. He quickly closed his eyes and held on to Cowley's soft fur. "Okay, I'm ready." With a soft whoosh, Cowley's hooves began to glow a gentle, shimmering blue. Sam opened his eyes in awe as the ground beneath them began to float. Slowly at first, then faster and faster, they soared into the sky. The farm grew smaller and smaller beneath them as they ascended higher, past the trees and the barn, until they were flying above the rolling hills. The stars began to peek out from behind the darkening clouds, twinkling in the evening sky. Sam gasped in amazement. "We're flying." "How are we flying, Cowley?" Cowley laughed, her voice like a soft melody. "I've always been a magical cow, Sam. I can do things no one else can. And tonight, I'm sharing that magic with you." As they soared through the air, Cowley began to tell Sam stories about the stars and the moon. "The stars are my friends," Cowley said, her voice full of wonder. "They guide me when I'm lost, and sometimes, they play hide and seek with me. They can even show you dreams, Sam. The kind of dreams you want to come true." Sam's eyes grew wide with wonder. "Really? Do you think I can talk to the stars, Cowley?" Cowley smiled softly. "Of course. Just close your eyes and wish for a star to speak to you. It will listen." Sam squeezed his eyes shut, his heart filled with excitement. He thought about all the things he loved most, the farm, his family, and of course, his magical friend Cowley. When he opened his eyes, he couldn't believe what he saw, a bright, shimmering star flying beside them. "Hello, Sam," the star twinkled in a soft, glowing voice. "I've heard your wish, and I'm happy to meet you. I'm one of the stars that watches over your dreams. If you ever need a little extra light, just look up at the sky, and I'll be there to guide you home." Sam smiled in awe. "Thank you, star. I'll always remember you. Will you come visit me in my dreams?" The star twinkled brightly in the night sky. "Of course. I'll always be with you, shining down, so you'll never feel alone." Before Sam could say another word, the star winked and zoomed off into the distance, leaving a trail of sparkling light behind. "Wow," Sam whispered, feeling the magic of the night fill his heart. "That was amazing, Cowley." Cowley chuckled, her blue spots glowing even brighter now. "That's just the beginning, Sam. The night is full of magic, and the stars are always watching over you. Let's go on a little adventure to see where they lead us." Together, they flew higher, their laughter filling the air as they passed over fields of golden flowers and deep shimmering lakes. Sam felt like he was part of a beautiful, never-ending story. He felt free, happy, and more connected to the world than he ever had before. As they flew, they reached a quiet grove where the trees were bathed in moonlight. Cowley landed softly on the ground, and Sam hopped off her back, feeling the cool grass beneath his feet. "This is my favorite place," Cowley said softly. "The moonlight here is so peaceful, and the stars feel so close. It's like we're part of something bigger, something wonderful." Sam nodded, taking in the beauty of the grove. The trees whispered in the breeze, and the moonlight sparkled on the water of a small pond nearby. It felt like a dream, but Sam knew it was real. "I'll never forget this night, Cowley," Sam said, his heart full of joy. "This is the best adventure ever." Cowley nuzzled him gently with her soft nose. "And there will be many more, Sam. Whenever you need me, just come to the farm, and I'll take you on another adventure." As the night grew darker, with the stars twinkling brightly above, Sam knew it was time to go home. He gave Cowley one last big hug, feeling the warmth of her soft fur. "Good night, Cowley. I can't wait for our next adventure." Cowley smiled, her blue spots glowing softly in the night. "Good night, Sam. I'll be here, waiting for you. And remember, the stars will always be watching over you." With that, Sam made his way home, his heart light and full of wonder. As he walked through the quiet village, he looked up at the sky, and sure enough, the stars were shining brightly, just as Cowley had promised. And every night after that, whenever Sam looked up at the stars, he knew that his magical friend Cowley was out there, waiting for their next adventure to begin. The end. The story of Skyla and the Starry Rainbow Adventure. Once upon a time, high in the sky, there lived a small, curious cloud named Skyla. Unlike the big clouds that brought rain, Skyla had a special gift. She could create rainbows. But Skyla wasn't just any cloud. She was a dreamer, a wanderer, always eager to discover the mysteries of the sky. Every day, Skyla floated through the air, watching birds soar and the sun paint the clouds in soft pinks and oranges. But there was one thing she always wondered: what happens when the sun sets and the stars come out? One evening, as the sun's golden light faded, Skyla spotted a little girl below. The girl, named Ava, sat on a hill, gazing up at the sky. But Ava wasn't just any girl. She had a secret. She could see things no one else could. Her eyes sparkled with wonder, as if she could see into the heart of the world. Curious, Skyla floated down. "Hello, Ava," she said softly, like a whispering breeze. "I'm Skyla, the rainbow cloud. What are you doing tonight?" Ava gasped in excitement. "A talking cloud. I've been waiting for something special. The stars are coming out, but I wonder if we can make them shine brighter." Skyla thought for a moment and then had an idea. What if we made a starry rainbow together? A rainbow that glows with starlight. Ava's eyes sparkled with excitement. "That sounds amazing. Let's do it." Skyla rose higher into the sky, feeling the magic of twilight. As the sun set, the sky turned a deep purple, streaked with pink and blue. Skyla began to twist and turn, weaving bits of starlight into the air like golden threads. The stars began to twinkle, slowly waking up. One by one, they appeared, their light bright and shining. Skyla passed through the starlight, leaving a trail of glowing colors in her wake. Ava gasped as the stars gathered into an arc. Slowly, a rainbow began to form, but this was no ordinary rainbow. It was a starry rainbow, glowing with the light of 1,000 stars. The colors shifted, as if they were made of liquid starlight, casting a soft glow over the earth. "Look, Ava!" Skyla exclaimed. "A rainbow made of starlight, just for you." Ava's heart filled with wonder. "It's beautiful, Skyla. It's more magical than I ever imagined." Skyla smiled. "The sky is full of secrets, Ava. If you look closely, you can see the magic in everything, from the stars to the clouds to the whispers of the wind." Together, they sat on the hill, watching the rainbow stretch across the sky. The stars twinkled brighter than ever before, and the night felt peaceful, full of wonder. The whole world seemed to take a deep, contented breath. As the night grew darker, Ava yawned. "I think it's time for bed," she said, smiling. "Thank you, Skyla. I'll always remember this magical adventure." Skyla floated higher into the sky, her edges glowing softly with starlight. Sleep well, Ava. Dream of rainbows and starlit skies. I'll be here, watching over you. Ava snuggled into her blankets, gazing out at the stars. The glow of the rainbow still warmed her heart. As she drifted off to sleep, she knew the magic of the sky would always be with her, waiting to be discovered. And as for Skyla, she continued to float through the sky, creating starry rainbows for dreamers like Ava, who saw the magic in everything. The end. The Dog and the Frog's Moonlight Adventure. On the edge of a quiet little town, in a cozy backyard filled with soft grass and tiny glowing fireflies, lived a friendly golden dog named Benny. Benny loved the night. He would lie on his favorite patch of grass, listening to the crickets sing and watching the stars twinkle like tiny lanterns in the sky. Tonight, the moon was big and round, casting a silvery glow over everything. Just as Benny was about to curl up for a nap, he heard a small plop. He lifted his head. Ha! Then came a tiny ribbit. Benny turned toward the little pond at the far end of the yard. There, sitting on a floating lily pad, was a small green frog with big, curious eyes. "Hello there," Benny said, wagging his tail. "Hello," the frog croaked. "I'm Freddy. Who are you?" "I'm Benny. What are you doing out so late?" Freddy puffed out his chest. "I love to hop under the moonlight. But I wish I had a friend to hop with." Benny's ears perked up. "I love to run. Maybe we can have an adventure together." Freddy's eyes sparkled. "That sounds fun. But where should we go?" Benny looked around, then pointed his nose toward a small path leading into the trees. "Let's explore the meadow." With a happy ribbit, Freddy leaped onto Benny's back, and off they went. The meadow of fireflies. As Benny trotted into the meadow, a magical sight greeted them. Hundreds of tiny golden fireflies floated in the air, blinking like stars. "Wow!" Freddy gasped. "They look like tiny lanterns dancing in the sky." Benny tried to catch one with his nose, but the little light darted away. "They're fast," he laughed. Freddy took a deep breath. "I bet I can jump high enough to touch one." He crouched low, wiggled his little frog legs, and boing! He sprang into the air. He almost touched a firefly, but it zipped away at the last second. Freddy landed on Benny's head with a soft plop. Benny giggled. "Nice try. Let's chase them together." So Benny ran in circles while Freddy hopped beside him, trying to catch the glowing lights. The fireflies danced just out of reach, leading them toward the next part of their adventure, the Whispering Woods. Soon Benny and Freddy reached a cluster of trees where the leaves rustled softly in the night breeze. The air smelled fresh, like damp earth and wildflowers. Freddy looked around. "It's so quiet here." Benny's ears twitched. "Not too quiet, listen." They stood still and heard the sounds of the night, the hoot of an owl, the chirp of crickets, and the gentle rustling of leaves. "Everything is talking," Freddy whispered. "The trees, the wind, even the bugs." Benny smiled. "That's why I love the night. It's full of little secrets." They walked deeper into the woods, stepping over tiny mushrooms and watching the shadows dance in the moonlight. Then, rustle, rustle. Freddy jumped onto Benny's back. "What was that?" Benny sniffed the air. "Let's find out." They followed the sound until they spotted a little hedgehog rolling in the leaves. "Oh, it's just a hedgehog." Freddy sighed in relief. The hedgehog looked up sleepily. "I was just gathering leaves for my cozy nest," she said with a yawn. Benny wagged his tail. "Sleep well, little hedgehog." "You too," she mumbled, curling up into a tiny ball. Freddy and Benny smiled at each other and tiptoed away, careful not to disturb her nap. The Starry Hill. After a while, they reached the top of a small hill where the sky looked bigger and brighter. The stars twinkled like diamonds, and the moon cast a soft, silvery light over the land. Benny lay down, and Freddy climbed onto his back. Together, they gazed up at the sky. "Do you think there are frogs and dogs up there on the moon?" Freddy wondered. "Maybe," Benny said. "Maybe they're having their own moonlight adventure right now." Freddy yawned and snuggled into Benny's warm fur. Tonight was the best night ever. Benny smiled. "We'll have more adventures tomorrow." As the night wrapped around them like a cozy blanket, the dog and the frog drifted into sweet dreams, knowing they had found a friendship as bright as the stars above. The end.
Please join us.
The Adventure of Lily and Quackers. Once upon a time, in a small peaceful village nestled between rolling green hills, there lived a little girl named Lily. She had big brown eyes, brown curls that danced in the breeze, and an adventurous heart. Every day, she would explore the fields, climb the trees, and chase the butterflies that fluttered through the air. But the place she loved the most was the pond just outside the village, where the water sparkled like diamonds under the sun. One evening, as the sky was turning soft shades of pink and purple, Lily decided to visit the pond one last time before bed. The air was cool, and the sound of crickets filled the evening with a peaceful melody. She walked to the edge of the water and sat down on the soft grass, letting her feet dip into the cool water. As she gazed across the pond, something caught her eye. In the middle of the water, there was a little duckling swimming all alone. It had golden feathers that shimmered like sunlight, and it paddled in circles, looking confused. "Hey there, little one," Lily called out softly, her voice like a whisper carried by the wind. "Are you lost?" The little duckling stopped and looked up at her. Its tiny wings flapped in the air, and it quacked gently, as if it understood her words. Lily stood up and took a step closer, her heart filled with concern. "Don't worry," she said with a reassuring smile. "I'll help you find your family." The duckling paddled closer, its little webbed feet making soft splashes in the water. Lily bent down, and with a gentle hand, she scooped it up. It was warm and soft, and she could feel its tiny heart beating fast. "I'm going to call you Quackers," she decided, "because you have the most adorable quack." Quackers gave a small, happy quack, and Lily smiled, feeling a special connection with the little duck. She could tell it was frightened, but it seemed to trust her. "Let's go find your family, Quackers," she said softly, and together, they began their search around the pond. As they walked, the sky darkened, and the first stars began to twinkle above them like little fireflies. The moonlight made the world feel magical, and Lily felt like they were on an adventure together. They walked along the water's edge, calling out softly for Quacker's family. The pond was quiet except for the gentle rustling of the leaves and the soft croak of frogs in the distance. Lily didn't mind the silence. She was happy to be with Quackers, and the night felt like a secret just for the two of them. As they rounded a bend, they came across a large ancient oak tree with thick branches that stretched out toward the sky. Underneath the tree was a cozy little nook, covered with soft moss. And there, under the moonlight, was a family of ducks, all snuggled together in a happy pile. Quacker's eyes lit up, and he let out a joyful quack. His tiny wings flapped, and he waddled excitedly toward the family. The mother duck looked up and waddled over to him, giving him a loving nudge with her beak. "Quackers," she quacked, her voice full of warmth. "Where have you been, my little one? We've been looking everywhere for you." Quackers gave a happy, almost proud quack and flapped his wings as if to say, "I'm home." Lily smiled, feeling a deep sense of happiness. "I'm so glad you're back with your family," she said, kneeling down to give Quackers a gentle pat. "You're lucky to have such a wonderful family to go back to." The mother duck waddled over to Lily. "Thank you for bringing Quackers home," she said with a soft quack. "We were so worried. He's a curious little duck, but he's safe now, thanks to you." Lily stood up and waved goodbye to the duck family, feeling proud of what she'd done. But just as she turned to leave, Quackers waddled over to her, looking up at her with big round eyes. Then he did something that made Lily's heart swell with warmth. He nuzzled her leg, giving her a little nudge with his tiny head. "Quackers, you want to come with me?" Lily asked, kneeling down again. Quackers quacked in a way that seemed to say, "I'll visit you, but I want to go on adventures too." Lily laughed. "Okay, how about we make a plan? You can stay with your family, but we'll have adventures together every day, and I'll visit you here at the pond. How does that sound?" Quackers flapped his wings excitedly and quacked in agreement. Lily smiled, knowing that even though Quackers had found his family, their bond was special, and they would have many more adventures together. The great adventure begins. From that day on, Lily and Quackers had a wonderful routine. Every day, Lily would visit the pond to spend time with Quackers and his family. She would bring him little treats like pieces of bread or wildflowers, and they would play by the water or watch the clouds drift by in the sky. Each evening, as the sun began to set, Lily would sit by the pond, and Quackers would swim around her, sometimes jumping up to sit beside her as they watched the stars twinkle above. They shared stories and dreams about the world they would explore together, even if they had to say goodbye each night. Quackers, safe and happy with his family, never forgot Lily's kindness. And Lily, in turn, always cherished the bond she shared with her feathered friend. And so, while Quackers spent his days with his loving family, every evening, they reunited, ready for the next adventure in the magical world of friendship. The end.